This episode is presented to you by NFL Sunday Ticket, now on YouTube and YouTube TV. With NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube and YouTube TV, you can watch your favorite teams' out-of-market Sunday games, plus watch up to 4 games at once with Multiview. Don't miss the race to the playoffs. NFL Sunday Ticket is now just $39 when bundled with YouTube TV, where you get even more football. Visit youtube.com/Spotify offer to sign up now. Lowest price on YouTube TV with base plan. Rest of 2023 season. Terms and embargoes apply. No cancellations.
'Tis the season to shine with H&M. Discover the holiday collection and find fashionable pieces for your wardrobe or for under the tree. Get inspired and dazzle with this year's glam. From tuxedo styles, bow detailed pieces, impressive prints, and more. From unforgettable looks to unforgettable gifts. With fashion finds to home decor, find it all at H&M. Treat your loved ones and yourself this season. Shop in-store or at hm.com.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another episode of the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. The boys are in training. We're getting the first images from Arizona. We got the first look at Polito's thighs. PJ is rocking all the content on the Sporting KC accounts. We're getting the first images. I love it. The green grass. It just makes me feel good again. I'm feeling very good tonight, gentlemen. Thad Bell and Robert Russert are here with me. How you guys doing?
I'm good. How about you?
That was good. There you go, Thad. I was going to gauge your energy level here. I like this. You're feeling good. We're recording on a different night this week. Holiday on Monday. Had some family in town, so apologies for that. But here we are. A lot going on right now. Some new signings. But, let's just go ahead and start on Tim Leibold. We discussed it when it was a rumor, and then, of course, about the very next day, the signing became official. So I don't think we've really discussed it a whole lot. There's a new article on the Blue Testament. Definitely go check that out. Chad and David debated. It definitely should have just been a podcast, I think. It is an article where they just go back and forth. It is good. They cover the whole thing, but I don't know why are we not doing this? Come on, we're a multi-content platform now.
Well, this way we get to have it on 2 different pods.
There we go. That's yes. There's now an ocean of Sporting KC pods, which is good. The sport is growing. That's what we're all here for. But on that note, if you guys enjoy our show, please go subscribe, rate, and review. We haven't had many reviews over the last few years. We've changed things. We've added a lot of stuff, and so we need some updated reviews. That would help us a lot. In this battle, this new epic battle for Sporting KC podcast supremacy that we find ourselves in.
Well, hey, going back to Leibold, I did talk to Eric Tommy yesterday, and he has played against him. He doesn't know him personally, but he's excited to see him come into camp. So, good deal.
So I think what we have found here with the signing, this is just another example of Peter Vermes and just this front office. If there is a player available that they like, they are going to sign him. And it doesn't matter if there's already 2 left backs on the roster. They've liked this player and so they've gone after him. It's going to make an interesting battle, with Logan and Denbe and Ben Sweat. But then, there's also the aspect that he can play some midfield. I think that is the rumor a bit. David's thoughts on it, as you can read in that article, He is not all the way happy with it. The guy's 29 years old. That's kind of David's main point about the team not getting any younger. But Thad, I'm curious where you stand on this.
I'm okay with it. You never know where this is all going to go. You don't know what the fallout's going to be if somebody else goes. But just because I've seen one of the complaints is like, well, why do we have three? Well, what if Tim comes in and is hurt for the next? He's not in shape because of an injury or something. You still need people to back him up. If they had traded away Sweater and Dembe, then they would be criticized for having acted too rashly. And, so I'm okay with it. The guy should be good, should be an upgrade. There should be enough competition to get Logan time. And you never know, they might be moving one of those guys a little farther up the field or doing something else. So how about you, Robert?
Well, I know that, we have a tendency, and I know soccer is a physical sport, but do we always sign guys who have been recently hurt? I mean, he blew out his knee back in October of 2021. So is this a trend with us as well?
Oh, it absolutely is. I mean, that's how Peter gets players cheaply. I mean, that's
yeah.
It's I mean, the guy got out of his contract. They did the 6 months before contract, and he was let go to come here because he was not in the manager's form over there. So it's worth a risk if he can be as good as he used to be, I suppose.
Yeah, and Chad says, and I agree with this, and the basic idea that if he makes the team better, it's a good addition. And I think the qualities that he has, from what we've heard anyway, does improve on the qualities that are already at left back.
Do we assume he is the starter?
Yes.
He's going to be given every chance, at least in the preseason, to start.
Right.
And I mean, obviously Peter won't start a guy who he doesn't rate, but he sometimes sees people differently than we do. So
yeah, and I wonder, I mean, if you look at the back line, so Fontas getting older, he's our playmaker back there. If he wants to give Volodar, whichever we do,
Robbie,
fine, Robbie, yeah. If he wants to have Leibold at that left back be more of the playmaker, when Robbie is playing left center back, maybe that's a plan. I don't know.
See, hold on. Okay, you just said Leibold, and I've been saying Leibold, and I go back and forth. It's always been interchangeable on RB Leipzig or Leipzig. So we have another name here where we need to get that down.
The only reason I go Leibold is EI instead of IE is how his name is spelled. So
Tim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's Tim.
You've always said Leipzig.
I've never said that, actually, probably in my whole life. So
you've never referred to Red Bull Leipzig in any way. You've never mentioned that team.
Don't think so.
Okay, well, that's impressive.
I've said Leipzig.
Okay. Thad and I are on the same team for once.
So the other one little interesting twist to that is I think it's going to be a perfect German passing triangle between Tim, Tommy, and Robbie at some point.
Right.
The famous German efficiency we can look forward to. I'm very excited about this.
Now we got to work on a Spanish speaking one for the other part of it.
Right. Danny Flores is another signing that we just got. He's very young. I thought I had the link up and I do not have the link. Someone save me.
I think he's 20.
20. Okay, yeah, Thad, give us some on Danny Flores while I get up this article.
I don't really have a ton on him, man. I did a deep dive looking for highlights and things like that, and I saw him score a couple of nice goals, but there was not a lot out there as far as being able to see him play. But
20-year-old former U.S. Youth International, signed for this season and options for the next 3 seasons after that. Very standard young player contract that we see with them. I think the surprise, though, I guess, was maybe a lot of people thought it was an SKC2 signing, and it is a first-team contract.
Yeah, definitely would have thought that, but it's just with the age. But sounds like, well, because he went through waivers, I think they had to assign him to a first-team contract.
Oh, okay. Yes, I see. MLS going to MLS.
Right. Now, I don't know if they could have signed him to the 2 team, but because Peter didn't want to let him go through the rest of the MLS waivers, and they claimed him, but that probably meant that they had to sign him at that point. So, yeah. But the interesting quote was that Vermes said he had some Busio-like qualities.
So does that indicate he's an attacking-ish midfielder?
Probably. I mean, he said he was a deep-lying playmaker at time, though.
Okay. He's still
right. Busio did play some 6 with us, so
he did.
Yeah.
And
so maybe he's the young 6 that everybody's been looking for.
Well, right. I was gonna on this roster with Vermes and a young player in the midfield. He's gonna get used in all 3 spots at some point. He's gonna get tried out in every single way.
And
probably
a wide
left
back somewhere. Yeah, exactly.
Left back, right back. I was a little snarky though when I heard he had Busio-like qualities. So he barely starts for a Serie B team.
Wow, is that too soon? Thad Bell. Oh man, that hurt me a little bit. I appreciate the content, but ow, lashing out. Are you giving up on Busio?
No, he actually has been getting more time the last couple of games, but you got to snark at times, right?
Let's see. That Busio would be the age of 20 at this point. My God, he's still only 20.
Right.
Well, okay, getting signed for Sporting KC. Well, I don't know. Actually, I was about to compare getting signed to Serie B or playing for a Serie B team at 20 and signing for Sporting KC. And now that doesn't sound like that much of a leap.
Yeah, I do want to dive a little more into him at some point because I think he had to sit out of college for a year or something so that he could sign. Because he didn't go through the draft. It's just there's some weirdness there, but I mean, I'm sure. I mean, it's all legit and above board, but I just don't understand it. So, got to dig more into it at some point.
So, how many more signings are we expecting, guys? Any idea? Any thoughts on that?
Well, Vermes mentioned some new signings, but
right,
most 2 could have been those 2 signings, right?
They could have been,
but we'll never know. We could have
as far as roster spots, we have 2 open, or am I wrong?
I don't know. I don't have my spreadsheet pulled up in front of me, so.
Gotcha. Okay.
David was getting out of court late this evening. Our lawyer and our resident stat checker was getting out of court late, so he's not with us this evening. Okay, well, actually, I wanted to mention there was another signing for Fellhaber's SKC2, Amadou Traore, another great name. And another Traore. We mentioned last week, Deity is how I'm going with that. Deity Traore. Fantastic. Fellhaber's team is shaping up to be amazing based on their player names. Thad, how's that roster looking?
Actually, really interesting. The players they've signed, there's players I'm very interested to see. They sound more like they're reaching out for guys who have a lot of upside potential, at least. I mean, they always say they will sign players that have potential to make the first team, but some of these guys seem like they might have some interesting ability to move up. I don't know. I'll have to see them play, and most of them won't make it, obviously, but yeah. I think they're at least taking some nice chances on those guys. And the duo Traore.
Yes, that's very good. That's very good. What was the roster turnover? I know that's USL, and especially the way our organization is built. That
it's not USL, it's MLS Next Pro.
MLS Next Pro. But it's but isn't that in the network? No, it's not. I see. I'm so lost on all of that. So
it used to be.
There's 3 USL tiers, but MLS Next Pro is not one of them.
No.
And where does MLS Next Pro stand on the pyramid of US soccer?
3rd division.
What?
3rd division.
Oh, 3rd division. I thought you were really going to get complex with me there for a second. Okay, 3rd division. So it's in between USL 1 and 2.
It would be equal to USL 1.
Okay. And was there a lot of roster turnover? Is it?
Oh yeah, a lot of their good guys actually moved over to USL Championship, which would be the 2nd division.
We need to have Benny Fellhaber on. We had him on last year around this time. I've been reaching out. We were incommunicado with some upcoming guests. We're working on some preseason content. We always get a good reaction from our exhaustive research and technical analysis that we put on through our preseason, all of our content across all the stuff. So there is some other stuff we're working on. We hope to have a nice, organized, well-rounded Blue Testament for you in the year of our Lord 2023.
And yes, we do have 2 roster spots available.
There we go. Look at that. We filibustered for 5 minutes for him to get that.
Right. Yeah.
But the question will be senior roster spots or supplemental roster spots.
Yes.
Yeah, and how many green cards are out there? Because Vermes hinted at seemingly a fair amount of them.
I've been saying this all along, is there was never a worry about that. They had plenty of spots because they changed the rule last year that if you didn't have a green card before the season, but on the roster compliance day, you wouldn't be updated throughout the rest of the year. So you could get a green card 3 days later and you would still count as an international spot, where that wasn't in the past. Of course, Charlotte got to break that rule, but so they got green cards somewhere between the start of last year and now. And they just didn't bother saying them because they weren't relevant to anything else going on at the moment. So they will probably at some point just say, oh yeah, we have 3 spots open, and boom.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
Let's get to the KC Current. The draft was last week. We haven't recorded since a lot has happened in that universe. A blockbuster trade for Lynn Williams and a second round or a second draft pick. Thad, tell us, how are you feeling about this?
That was a really bold move. The Current made a big splash.
We've had some time to process it.
I really like the player they got. They traded Lynn Williams for the second round, or the second pick in the first round. The first pick went to Angel City FC. And they took Alyssa Thompson, which was a player right out of high school. She's already had a couple of caps. She's going to be really amazing. Michelle Cooper, who the KC Current took, would have been number 1 most years of the draft. She's that good. So they were able to get her with the second pick. She already has a shoe deal. She came out after her sophomore year, scored 39 goals in 40 games in college with another 31 assists, I believe. And so almost, 2 points a game in just college. So she will be probably, the center forward for him. She has a really great scoring touch. I mean, if you watch some of her highlights, it's just ball crossed in, tap, just redirected, all that. She's going to be scoring a lot of goals.
I saw a conversation on Twitter that was about attendance projections in the women's Bundesliga and how, some people's eyes were opened. I think they were projecting hopefully maybe like 4,000 as an average attendance, and then optimistically in 27 an average attendance of like 7,000 or something. And some people were saying it was kind of eye-opening that it's kind of maybe a punch in the face of where we're at. We see all this progress, but then we kind of get hit with that reality a little bit. Do you know what the average attendance is in WSL?
Exactly, no, but I believe last year the Current were 3rd overall with somewhere around 9,000-10,000
as an average.
Yeah.
Oh wow! I thought 10,000 was like that game where I scored my goal at halftime was like they set a record and it was like just over 10,000. Their average was right around there.
I think it was like 9,000.
I guess we're including playing in places like Portland and Angel City.
Well, no, I'm just saying for home attendance. It was up there. They were the third most for the league. I mean, Portland obviously was first.
Okay.
Kind
of we're still drawing much better here, but so maybe globally the game still has a ways to go to catch up.
Well, it does, but it all depends on where you're at. Like in Barcelona, they have been drawing as well as the men or better.
Really?
So yeah. And in England, some of the big teams there have been drawing well, especially for the big matches. They've been drawing, 30,000. So it all depends on where. It's not even, but it's not even across MLS.
Wow, can the women's Barcelona FC carry that organization out of the crippling debt that they've been in?
Well, they seem to be doing okay lately. So go back to the KC current draft though for a second. With a 10th pick, they took Alexis Spanstra, who, and if they had not moved up and made that trade to get Michelle Cooper, we'd have been sitting here going, "Oh yeah, that was a great pick." She'll play wide, she can play forward, she can play, the wide mid, scores, sets up players. But having got Michelle Cooper above that, it's like poor Alexa has kind of been like forgotten about to talk about. But after that, they added 3 defenders, 2 goalies, and a midfielder who Robert and I both at least know of, Rylan Childers.
Yeah, I got to see her play quite a bit when she was coming through the athletic system or Futura system. All the Childers girls are strong players. So
yeah.
She, I think, of the 3, has the best most aggressive mental attitude of the 3, in my opinion. So she's going to be one to watch, I think.
Yeah, I agree. She was taken in the 4th round with the 42nd overall pick. So if she makes the team, she's a steal.
Yeah,
but
sure.
I think there's a fair chance that she makes the team. She played for UMKC, then went to KU.
Right.
So she could play against a higher level of competition. KU was pretty much a terrible team, and she was one of the 2, if not the best player on KU for the last 2 years.
Yeah, I mean, every year in her youth system, she played up. She played in the ECNL when she was, 2 years younger than the other girls she was playing against. So she's always been that kind of a player for sure.
I do, because I know, Cody, you always love names.
Yes, love a good name.
So, like I said, the second pick they had was Spanstra, but that's SpaanStra.
I did. When you said that name, it sparked my ears a little bit. My ears perked up.
The first goalie they took is Jordan Silkowitz.
Ooh,
another cool name.
Doesn't sound like a keeper. Not a classic keeper name, but a very good name.
A defender, and I'm not sure how to say this one correctly, but Micaiah Menace. Another defender, Ella Schamberger. That's a heck of a name. Rylan Childers.
Schamberger better be a center back.
She is. And then another goalkeeper, Ashley Orcus.
Wow.
It was a good name draft.
Yes, good name draft.
And really well overall. Pretty much every pundit, every talking head out there gave them the draft winner, A++ kind of level of critique.
So they are still killing it this offseason. Some big moves, some risky moves, bold moves.
And that was just a few days after picking up Dabinia.
Right.
So, yeah, they didn't stop drawing attention. Angel City FC thought they were going to get all the attention for drafting the high school player, and they basically stole all the attention away from them. This is when we need that sound like bite from The Simpsons. Ha ha.
Robert, earlier you mentioned, or you just said the word Futura. And it just immediately sent me back onto the fields of the Raytown soccer fields. And I also saw a guy the other day in a bar showed up wearing a Legends jacket.
There you go.
Oh man, it just sends me back. What are some other good local KC youth teams that I'm not forgetting?
Well, I hate the Legends.
Pink Panthers.
Yeah.
Anyway, Pink Panthers. Yeah.
You hate the Legends too, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We all hated the Legends. I was Soccer Dome. I don't know if that has any that name has any staying power, but I don't think it's been around for a long time anymore.
Oh no, it's still around.
Well,
but,
no, the arena is around, but like
Yeah.
that was like the guy's not coaching anymore. I hope he's not molding young minds anymore. They suck.
Your past coach, you're saying.
Yes, I've talked about him on this pod before, but
Yeah.
I don't want to mention too much.
Of course, the old Summit Soccer Club that was folded into another club or two, I think, a couple of years ago.
They just keep folding into different ones. Like I know there's several of them that folded, with Futura into FC Casey, which became Casey Athletics.
Right.
Right now there's Alliance United or Alliance FC.
They've been around for quite a while. Is Scott Gallagher making inroads in Kansas City?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Get him.
I don't know how anybody can play for Scott Gallagher.
I'm
not saying they have bad coaches, but that's just like you're trying to like say, oh, I should play like the St. Louis guys. Screw that.
On the topic of some of this youth stuff, Sporting just announced the Sporting U-Pass initiative. Robert, I think I was pretty interested in that.
Yeah, going back, I got to mention this. I remembered a club named Jabali. I thought that was a pretty cool name back in the day. It was a soccer club.
Where's Jabali located?
It's a Kansas City club. I don't know if they exist anymore, but I just remember that name. Pretty cool name.
That sounds okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. So yes, the Sporting U-Pass. Basically, the idea here is cheaper tickets for college students, right? I mean, come on, they're on a budget.
Yes, please and thank you.
So $15 tickets into the Cauldron for home games open up to 240 universities. Students at more than 240 universities across the country are eligible. So trying to get a youth or more youth into the Cauldron.
But that was a full-on sales pitch from the Shades of Blue soccer show for them.
So it says supporter stand. Does that mean exclusively the Cauldron, or does it mean the South Stand also?
Well, they put out in the press release specifically that the Cauldron is known as a rowdy section, et cetera. So to me, it seems like it is
okay
for the Cauldron. Yeah, it doesn't say general admission, which technically is South Stand, right?
They don't want to invite rowdy frat kids to come sit next to all the fans in the rich seats.
Right, exactly. Rich seats. Yeah, it says the supporter stand features 9 sections of general admission bleachers on the north end of Children's Mercy Park. So definitely the Cauldron.
One reason I wanted to talk about this was because it kind of sparked a bit of a conversation about the state of the Cauldron. That's something that, Robert, we've talked about a few times on this show. It is kind of a delicate subject. That's volunteers are running the Cauldron. And it's never good for people not doing anything to say something isn't going well or they're doing something wrong. So we do want to we want to talk about our feelings about the current state of the Cauldron, but we want to get it right. I think we're gonna try to get Zachary Cobb on, a longtime Cauldronite. Oh no, wow, sorry, longtime Cauldronite and a stout Kansas Cityan. So. I think we're going to have him on soon and try to get a more well-rounded discussion about the Cauldron and maybe ways that we can improve. There was a tweet recently. I think that's maybe what another reason that sparked this conversation out of nowhere was some random person on Twitter posted their rankings of MLS supporter groups and Sporting Kansas City was merely on good supporters, and there were 2 tiers above us, and I think that hurt some people because historically the Cauldron has been right. Yeah, good. I think that's exactly where the Cauldron does stand at the moment is merely good supporters, and there are some other great things going on in other cities, and the Cauldron was once one of the standards of MLS supporter groups, and I don't know that we are there anymore. So I do think we're going to talk more about that.
I think most talk around supporter section, the Cauldron, is not that they're doing things wrong, but just that we all want support for Sporting to be as good as it can be. That's really the discussion.
Exactly. So that is one of the future episodes in the pipeline. We're working on some other preseason stuff. But I think we've about wrapped it up this week. Thad, do you have anything else you would like to derail things?
Sure. Indoor soccer.
Yeah, okay, yeah, let's definitely derail there.
Comets have actually not been playing very well lately. So a couple of losses and all that. But interesting little note is that MASL will have games broadcast on Sirius Satellite Radio. I think it just came out today, and I think it's 10 games on Friday nights will be broadcast, and the first one will be the Comets.
And are like they have their own crew that will be going to like traveling to those games every Friday? Is that?
I'm sure it'll just be the local crew because it'll be the play-by-play and stuff from Kansas City. For Kansas City, it's Nick Vassos and Eric Bergrud.
Yeah, well, forgive my ignorance here. I knew those guys did the radio here, but does every team in the NASL have a radio broadcast? That would kind of surprise me, honestly.
Well, they have a broadcast that would go on Twitch if nothing else.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I guess.
And quite honestly, I hope they choose those games wisely because there are some announcers in this league that I just sit and make fun of and turn the volume down, and they're terrible. But there's a few teams that have some pretty good announcers, Kansas City being one of them.
Cody, I will throw out two things.
Oh, no.
Speaking of indoor soccer, Cody, I invite you and Thad too to come out and play Friday nights, 9:00 in Lee Summit. Love to see you guys there. It's a lot of fun. It's a good group of guys. So I've been playing for the last 5 out of 7 weeks, something like that. Number two, how about a shout out to our listeners? You know, what guests do you want on the Shades of Blue Soccer Show? Who do you like us? Who would be your dream list for us to have guests on the show? And we can take your names and work on it and see what we can do.
We have some sway that we just rarely throw around properly, so we can get some good names.
Yeah, for sure.
Our boy Thad is connected here. He looked very I was trying to talk you up, man.
I appreciate that. That's why I love you so, Cody.
Okay. So Cody, you didn't say anything about coming out Friday night at 9.
That's what I was just about to bring it back to. Where I don't know if you want to invite every one of our listeners, but
no, I was inviting you and Thad.
Well, okay, so then you can tell me where you play exactly in the Summit.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be down for that. I'm partial to the soccer lot, which is 1 close to me, not in Lee Summit.
Right.
And it's 2 a small field. So
that would be my forte right there. I need a very small field.
Yeah, hard to beat that.
So do you actually play there?
I have many a time. I'm not in a regular league. I would like to. Somebody invite me. I'll go do it.
Well, this isn't a league. It's just pickup, but it's a lot of fun. So
okay, I might be down for that. It's not actually arena soccer league, but I saw my favorite all-time player Sergio Aguero is back in some like retirement old man's league that he's playing and scoring goals again, and it made my heart feel good.
It was a nice goal. Yeah,
it was. It's good to see him back running around. I hope it. And my first thought is like, if he's still playing, I guess it is a shorter field. I noticed there's no walls like in arena soccer, but his career was cut short for heart problems. So it made me nervous to see him running around out there. But if he survived Argentina's World Cup and all of that, I think.
Where's he playing at?
It's something called the Kings League. I didn't look too far into it, but it's clearly like a short-sighted teams and a smaller field. But it looked like a grand old time. I wish we did more of that kind of thing here. These charity matches and stuff like that in the U.S.
Because there are leagues around the world that play mini soccer. So it is kind of like an arena size field, not futsal, no walls. And I just haven't seen a ton of it, especially with bigger name players going to it or anything.
Okay, I think we're about done here. I got a heart out. It's restaurant week, gentlemen. I've got
yes, it is.
I got to hit. Restaurant week's a big week for me. I upped my budget this month so I could hit some good spots.
Throw out some places. Where are you headed?
I'm going to Piropos tonight. It is going to be the most expensive one. Most of these places all have $40 dinner menus. This one's $55. So I'm taking a hit tonight, but I've never been to this place. It's supposed to be good. Argentine cuisine. So I'm excited.
With company, may I ask?
Yes. Got a
Nice.
double date for the evening and one for Thursday as well.
Awesome.
Cool.
Okay.
Good luck.
Yes, thank you very much. I'll talk to you gentlemen next week. Go Sporting.
Woo.
The other side don't seem so tough, and 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.